With that, let's get started. Hello, hello, hello. My name's Natasha Nurse. My company is called Dressing Room Aid. It's a coaching and consulting platform dedicated to serving and servicing women entrepreneurs, women freelancers, women creatives who are looking for more innovation in how they operate their business, how they approach obstacles in life, how they present themselves for online content, in-person events, all of that good stuff. I'm involved in things like social media. Haha. I'm also involved in-person production events. I do a lot of public speaking, coaching, writing, blogging, all under the umbrella of women empowerment, and really making sure that women know that they can live fearlessly, that they can live confidently, and they can live purposefully. So with that, we are here for Dear Journal Time. This is my journal. This is from Faith Costa, her Society 6 page. Isn't that gorgeous? Every time I see this image, it just makes me feel empowered, just looking right at it. And journaling, right? Why do I do a video about journaling? Because I'm encouraging people to journal more. So many people struggle with finding me time, and the perfect opportunity to take some me time is when you say, hey, actually, no, I can't talk. Hey, nope, don't bother me. I'm journaling, right? It's a really good boundary to set with the world and set with yourself that I'm going to take time. I'm going to write about thoughts that I'm feeling. I'm going to work through some problems that I'm dealing with. And also I'm going to dream and I'm going to fantasize. And I'm also going to put my intentions out for the world, all in one place that I can go back, I can flip through, I can read, and then also I can pass it down to my loved ones, right? So journal, journal, journal. If you want a copy of your journal, go to faithcosta.com and you can click on her art page and you can get your own version of this, and she has other journals available. And there's also like really cool other artist journals on society6.com, just in case you're not familiar with that. And with that, let's get started. So today, the topic for today is I Choose Me, which really is speaking to self-love, personal empowerment for the month of love. And of course, for those of you who are people of color like myself, Black History Month tied in with kind of working in that self-love, self-empowerment narrative as well. And so what does self-love mean? I'll share a little bit of kind of what I wrote down in my journal entry for today. First, for me, I recommend if I'm choosing me, if I'm choosing to prioritize my thoughts and my feelings, number one with a bullet is doing something that I love every single day. And I stress this because people, don't always even know what they love, which is really, that's really like depressing because if you don't know what you love, if you're not actively engage with yourself to know what you like to do, what you enjoy doing, then what are you living for, right? That's really my question, because if we're not taking time to love ourselves every single day, but we're out here and we're loving and we're giving to others, eventually what will happen? You'll become depleted because you can only give from what you have. So if you have nothing, eventually you'll be able to give nothing. So that's the real importance of self-love and prioritizing yourself, because we all have people that we're caring for that depend on us and that look up to us, but we have to fill us. Self-preservation first before we can ever give to the world or give to our loved ones. So for me, I'll give you a couple of examples. If you're like, okay, well, practically speaking, what does that mean? I would say reading. As an entrepreneur, as a content creator, I'm constantly working on crafting what I do in a better way, in a more innovative way. And the only way for me to explore my creativity is to understand the works and creation of others. It's also to understand better, more marketing tools, more social media tools. Reading is a lifeline for me. It's an opportunity for me to learn how to live my life better. It's also an opportunity for me to tap into the lives of others. I'm reading Becoming by Michelle Obama. Really great kind of insight as to the type of woman and the type of childhood she had. We have to learn to take a moment every single day, because you can read every day. If you can pee and you can shower every day, you can read every day. You can read 15 minutes a day. There's no excuse, guys. So am I tapping in and getting connected to the knowledge and the information out there. Do you have to buy every book on the shelves? No, you can go to the library, you can rent books. There's all sorts of knowledge that's out there, but you've just got to prioritize the time to go out and seek it and get it for yourself. So reading is a big lifeline and a big I choose me moment for myself. Next, obviously journaling. That's why we're here today. Like I said, a lot of people really struggle with just boundaries of time. And if you say, I don't have time for me time, that's bullshit. You have 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, you can journal. You can set your intentions for the day. I have a gratitude journal. I have a poetry prompt journal. I actually journal to 3 to 4 journals a day. And it doesn't take me more than 5 to 6 minutes. I'm very quick about it. But the point is, I have to take that moment to reflect, to be grateful for what I have in my life, to be grateful for opportunity, to be grateful for the bad moments because they're teaching me something. But we have to take time to do that because it's telling the universe, hey, she's grateful. Let's give and deliver more to her. Hey, she's learning. Let's give her moments where she can now execute that knowledge. You have to reflect as much as possible and not harp in it and kind of like get kind of in a stew of just like what happened, but it's more a moment of clarity, a moment of distinction. This is what I learned. This is what I'm going to apply. I'm struggling with this, and get past it and move on. Right? Okay. Next, watching my favorite movie or TV show. For me, I grew up like working with film on the background kind of noise. So that's something that I greatly enjoy. I'm currently rewatching the Harry Potter series. Shout out to Harry Potter fans, right? Thus the glasses. So if you too love film and love television, incorporate it. Maybe you don't have the luxury to necessarily work to it. I work, I have a non-traditional kind of working environment given, my entrepreneurial path. However, we can always take 5 minutes when we're eating breakfast or right before we go to bed if you want to watch something that's hopefully not too violent in nature. We have to watch that before going to bed. But, fit it in, right? Fit it in. You have your phone. A lot of people like to stream and watch something on Hulu, on Netflix at lunch, but making sure that we get those 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because it might spark something for you, for an idea that you want to work on, for a project that you might be involved in. So making sure you're tapping into that. Good morning, Tori. Next, I would say shopping. Listen, there is a reason why we have retail therapy. Perfect timing, Victoria. She definitely share your link, love. She's a paparazzi independent consultant. And ladies and gentlemen, who, if you don't love shopping, cool, I got you. Like, you're obviously a more evolved person in a different realm of life than I am. I love shopping because for me, it's an opportunity to indulge. It's an opportunity to gain things, whether it's a book. I mostly shop on Amazon for books and also jewelry and scarves and hats. But again, everyone's got their flavor of the month, right? You got to figure out kind of what you love, but incorporate that. If shopping is something you love and you don't shop more than 2-3 times a year, if you can financially afford it, come on, you got to treat yourself. You got to, obviously, considering all financial concerns in your life, you obviously keep that in mind with the amount and how often and all of that good stuff. We're going to be talking about finance actually for the next Dressing Room Mate book club, but do it. Right? The point is, do it if you can, and do it if it gives you pleasure and it's something that you enjoy and want to partake in. Stop talking about things that we love and not doing it. Just get out and do it. And then music, right? Music to me, I find super soothing. I love to work to Beethoven. My husband's always saying, hey, why are you always listening to Beethoven? Like, for me, I find classical music to be super inspiring. I'm a flautist. I've played the flute since I was in junior high, and I love classical music. It really stimulates a certain part of my brain, I feel, than other types of music does. But I'm also Jamaican heritage background, right? So if you ever in my car, you will hear blasting soca and dancehall because that gives me life. So I listen to it on a daily basis because it makes me happy. That's what a part of choosing me is about. It's about little moments of I love this and actually incorporating it and not making such a big deal of like, oh, you know, if I love this, how do I do it? You just do, right? There's no try, there's no how do I, just do it. You put in your calendar if you need like a physical reminder to yourself, or put alarms on your phone, but you bloody well do it. You know, maybe your phone alarm that you wake up to is a dancehall song, right? But you've got to just incorporate the things that you love and just frickin' do it, because life is too short not to. And then dancing is another one for me. Love to dance. You can see me in the street dancing. You can see me. I just love to dance. I cook and dance. Just dance, dance, dance. It helps me feel good about moving my body. I just love how music just is so vibrant and deep. So those are just examples for me, because I can share my narrative, but I encourage you to say, okay, hey, I'm going to journal. Yay. But then secondly, I'm going to choose me. And what does that mean for you? Okay. And write out a list, like literally, because why? If you're struggling identifying things that you love and things that you love to do, it's an indicator to yourself that, hey, you're not tapped into yourself as well as you could be, because it shouldn't be a struggle to figure out things that you love. It really shouldn't. So think about that. Next, I choose me means, like equal sign in your mind, refusing to put others above myself. So what does this mean? Let's get to some practical scenarios. So when we are helping friends, when we're giving our time and giving our energy and giving our ear for phone calls or going to dinners, and someone is wailing or someone is bitching and moaning or someone is complaining or someone is crying or whatever else that they happen to be doing, right? What are we going to be doing? We're going to be helping, we're going to give advice, we're going to be a support system, ... But can you do that in the sacrifice, and also sacrifice your time or sacrifice what you need to do for the day? No, you cannot. Again, this goes back to the beginning of what I said. We can only give what we have to give. So I wrote in my journal that I choose me means I will help, I will collaborate, I will work with, I will support, I will champion others, but it's not to the detriment of myself. That needs to be crystal clear to you so that you don't make that mistake over and over again. So many of us do, right? And then what do we become? We become the person who goes around telling people, oh, well, we helped this person, but it was, then I didn't have any sleep, or I did this. And, and it's just like you become bitter, you become angry, you become resentful. Is that necessary? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think you have to live a life where by helping someone, by supporting, by working, by collaborating with others, it is to the detriment of you. I think there's a better way to live. Now, whether you choose to discover that for yourself or not is completely up to you. But I encourage you, if you're starting to really dive deep on a self-love journey for yourself, choosing you does not mean that you have to prioritize others over yourself. Nope, nope, nope. It means actually opposite. It means you have to care for the number one person in your life, which is you. Always, always, always. No exceptions. That's a non-negotiable rule with yourself that you're setting. So I hope that that's super clear. And also, I just encourage you to think about it from the perspective of, if you don't stand up for yourself in these situations where you're helping or supporting or working or being a champion for others, and you start to feel upset about it, do you want to live a life like that? Do you feel like you are not worthy of standing up for yourself, or that you can't stand up for yourself? If that's the issue, let's talk about it, because I think there is a different way to go. Next, walking away. Now, what do I mean by this? I want you to completely feel comfortable with the idea that you can walk away from unnecessary arguments, people who are super toxic, who have a bad attitude, who are excited to tell you how you're wasting their time, how they don't have time for you, how this is upsetting them, how this is ... drama, fighting, whether it's emotional fighting, physical fighting, spiritual fighting, complainers, right? The people who only see a problem the minute they wake up and the minute they go to bed. Complainers are the worst. Also the arrogant, the I know it all people, the angry people, the ungrateful people, right? You could give them the moon and Pluto and they would still have a problem with what you've done or what you're saying to them. The bitter people, the miserable people, the ... right? So that's just a list that I've kind of wrote down of people that I encourage myself to walk away from conversations or interactions or scenarios with these types of people. Just recently, someone was trying to speak with me in a tone that was very toxic, that was very, I'm better than you, and I know this, and how dare you waste my time kind of an approach to life. It is easy to feed into it. It's super easy because why? We all have our own sense of pride and our own sense of like, what the F, right? But no one can make you angry. No one can make you feel less than other than you. If you choose to feed into that, then you choose to open yourself up. Sorry, I don't know why this phone is acting this way, but you choose to do that, then what does it do? It creates back and forths of toxicity, of negative energy. If you're like me at all, you'll replay this in your mind over and over again until you actually put a quit to it and stop, right? So you have to kind of then employ other techniques to get over and resolve with these issues. But is there a better way to live? Yes, absolutely. When someone is toxic and nasty with you, what do you simply do? You can smile and you can say, you can either respond or not respond. If you do respond, you can get real robotic with things. And I'm going to do a live stream later this year to really focus in and harness some of the tools and techniques that I'm using for some toxic people that I sadly know and tolerate in my life. But that's my choice, not by force or I'm, no victims here, right? If you're choosing to operate and tolerate toxic people, that is a choice. So if you choose to tolerate those folks, what are the techniques you're going to do to create some healthy boundaries and to also make sure that you can tolerate them without losing your mind, right? Because that's going to be key. But ultimately, walk away from the bitter, the angry, the toxic, the negative, the feuding, the complainer, anyone who's less than and worthy of your time and your spirit and your energy, because you can do better. You can. And in the month of love, what is a better way to love yourself than to make sure that you don't engage in those kind of conversations, right? So there's that. And then this one, I hope you really enjoy this because it's very much in line with the idea of the month of love, which is, as I told myself, fall in love with me, right? So what do I mean by that? Who here can say that they learned something new about themselves last month? Did you learn something new about yourself? I did. I learned a new food group that I liked, and I didn't know that I liked eating. But what else? Who here can say that they, learned something new about themselves? If not, then you are not deepening your relationship with you as often as you should be. Every single month, do you think it's possible to learn something new about yourself? Hells yeah. But it would require you taking the time to do that. Right? So reading a new quote and saying, oh, I really like that quote, or reading a new book, or running, or taking up a kickboxing class, signing up for a new food subscription service, trying a new gum, volunteering and walking dogs, reconnecting with an old relative, right? Like I'm just pulling examples that, could possibly work for you. Trying a new clothing company that you've never worked with, buying a new hat. I bought like a bunch of new hats from Amazon. Love them because my behind is warm. I have heat and cold intolerance. I need to be warm. Like point blank period. I try to tell my husband all the time, like, listen, I'm 86 degrees kind of a gal. That's where I'm at with life. So anything less than 86 degrees is extremely challenging. I don't know why I'm in New York. I really don't. So, those are something new. I tried also recently a new mascara, like a colored mascara. Didn't realize I liked it, right? Every single month, it's an opportunity to learn something new about yourself. And for the month of love, for it, as much energy and as much time as we take talking about loving our loved ones and how are we catering to our partners and what sexy lingerie are we wearing and dot, 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 right? What are you doing for you? How are you falling in love with you this month? For me, this month, I can give you my example. I would say that I'm going to see a horror movie. So it's not a new thing. I definitely know I love the genre, but I don't know if I'm going to like this new movie. I think I'm going to be looking into some painting class because I am interested. I've been interested in wanting to do that, and I actually didn't accomplish that for a goal last year. So definitely going to be signing up. I don't know if I'm going to do that this month or in the next like 3 months. Definitely doing that. I'm traveling to out of state and to 2 new places I've never been. So those are things that I'm booking in my calendar. And granted, you know, they don't have to all fall in this month. But what I'm saying is, if you can, try to discover something new about yourself every month. If that timeline is too challenging for you, break it out every quarter. And quarter being every 3 months, right? Every 3 months, can we learn something new about ourselves? Can we deepen our love for ourselves? Because if I were to ask you, hey, you know, if you're either in a relationship, not in a relationship, and you're trying to attract and or deepen your relationship with another person, you're quick to answer what you want to do about that, right? Like, oh, it's going to be on and popping, right? I'm going to do this. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to get my hair did, right? What the hell are you doing for you? So fall in love with you for the month of February because you deserve it. And it's a beautiful moment that you will truly, truly be grateful that you experience. Because once you continue to deepen and deepen and deepen, what does it make you want to do? It gives you more confidence. It makes you want to stand up for yourself more because you care more about yourself, because you know more about yourself. And then also it makes you more excited for the life that you're living. So many of us wake up not wanting to wake up, pissed off, sad, completely unhappy, or just completely like unconscious. And we're just kind of in this like really sad robot of just like, wake up 6 a.m., do this, do this. You're not even conscious, right? Which is a whole other conversation. And if you're interested in talking about living versus the unconscious existence, happy to talk about it. Put it in the comments, let me know. But we've got to live purposefully and with strategy, and strategy not just for others, but strategy for ourselves. So that's what that's speaking to. And then the last one, and then I'll give you some words of wisdom because we are getting close to our time for this session. Oh, I love it. Dear journal. Journals. Love it, right? Next is setting the boundaries you need. So if you are a fan of my radio show, Our Voices on 90.3 WHBC, you can listen to it by visiting dressingroom8.com. You'll see all my recent shows and guests on the show. I had a guest, Sarah, who was speaking about boundaries. And I really found that conversation to be truly revealing for myself, as well as how other people are interacting with other people, whether it's their family members, their partners, their children, who they work with. Guys, boundaries. Boundaries are key. If you really think about some of the discord that you have with others in life, it's because what? You haven't set clear boundaries. Some of the people, the toxic people that you have to deal with, that you choose to deal with in your life, rather, not have to, because you don't have to do anything, but who you're choosing to tolerate in your life. I recognize too that it was my error in not teaching this person or teaching these people how I need to be spoken to. And so I encourage you to ask yourself this really honest question. Have you set clear boundaries with people in your life? Real simple. Yes or no? If no, that's okay. My answer is no to certain people as well. Absolutely. They feel like they can speak crazy. And then it creates what? Discord, anger, frustration, ... right? But is there a better way to live? Is there a better way to love ourselves? Yes, 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 yes. We've got to set the boundaries we need. So think about it from this perspective. Whose job is it to teach others what we need in life? Is it Nana's job? Is it our partner's job? Is it our best friend? Is it our brother's job? No, it's your job. Isn't that interesting? It's interesting. So if it's my job to teach others how I need to be spoken to, what makes me feel good, what words are challenging and create resentment and anger within me, then what am I going to do if I understand that's the rule of engagement? I will implore, right? If you understand the game that you're playing, then you have to play the game, right? Under those constraints. So if you accept that it is your responsibility to teach others how you want to be treated, and you understand this, then there's no excuse. When someone does what? When they say something disrespectful to you, when they say something condescending to you, when they say something that's frustrating to you and or unnecessarily toxic, what do you then do? Do we just take it and or do we, in our response, in our calm, robotic, because that's where you can't feed into the negative energy. You have to get really, just stick to the words. don't flame the fire. But in that kind of response, that curt response you probably will be giving back to that person, we then have to say, I understand, right? Here's an example. Okay, so someone says to you, like you're working together maybe, and then the person is like, I don't feel like doing this. This isn't something I should do. Okay, I understand that is your feeling. However, you've agreed to do X, Y, Z. In the future, when expressing a challenge with me, please understand that using explicit words or talking about feelings as opposed to obligations, I find to be unproductive, ... right? Like there's so many different scenarios that can come up. But the point is, are you actively setting a boundary with this individual? If not, whose job is it? It's your job. So get to it. Next, being clear at work. Right? A lot of times, I'm part of the Fairy God Boss community feed. If you're not a part of that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to fairygodboss.com. I can actually share that in the comments after. And I've been seeing some comments about people trying to understand boundaries, essentially, that they can set at work. And I think it's a healthy conversation. I know that they may or may not be nervous to kind of put that out there in the world. You have the option to put your comments anonymously, which I think is great, because some people aren't comfortable necessarily attaching their name to that question or that kind of posed thought in the world. So definitely please join the community so you too can benefit from the wisdom and insight of the community that will be shared upon you. Everyone's super active there. Clarity at work gives you what? Confidence and ability to be better at work. People sometimes what? Speak crazy to you. People sometimes what? Will lash out their feelings against you. But hey, I choose me. I choose me. I choose me. You can just say that right to yourself, right? I choose me. So I'm not going to give in and feed the flame, but I will respond calmly and collectively, but then also set a boundary. I do not appreciate when XYZ is done. And every work culture is a different process for how do you handle discord with your boss, discord with your coworkers. Do see kind of your working policy at your job. There's no one fit solution per working kind of scenario that you might encounter, but boundaries, however you achieve them, whether it's directly through that person, whether it's through HR, whether it's through your boss, whether you're the boss and it's with a subordinate, right? So many different scenarios that can come up there. But the point is to set the boundaries. Set the boundaries. It's your job. Your job. All right. And then also the last boundary, and this is something I really appreciated that I implored, I would say, probably most recently, last 6 months of my life, maybe 7 months of my life, which is what? Sleeping more. What did I have to do? I had to set a clear boundary with myself. Hey, Natasha, when you're tired, go to bed. Now, you would think, wow, that should be really obvious, right? I'm not a child. I'm not a teenager. I'm a grown woman. I'm in my 30s. I should know, right, when I need to go to bed. Nope. Guess what I was doing? Even though I was working, because I have workaholic tendencies, I was what? I was pushing through the tiredness. And I was saying, oh, well, I need to get this done so I can just be tired. Is that like sustainable long term? No, it's not. Nope. Now, every time, can you go to bed? Maybe, maybe not. Again, that's your choice, right? Completely up to you. No one's forcing you to do anything. You can always go to bed. But when you choose to stay up till 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, or in my case, wake up at 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, right? And you're tired, after a certain point, what do you need to do? You have to either shift how you're working, shift what are the things that you're doing, and or let go of some things, take on things, right? You gotta get real honest with yourselves. Do I need to do this? Am I doing this the most efficient way? Do I need support, right? Like learning how your work structure and workflow will be better is how you can overall be what? More satisfied with your life. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not sleeping enough, it is scientifically proven that you will reap the consequences of, you will deal with the consequences of that, but then you also feel more drained. You don't feel as conscious and present in your life as you should be if you're constantly tired, if you're constantly sleep deprived. Now, some people will argue, oh, well, Tasha, you don't have a child. Oh, Tasha, you don't have this, Yeah, I don't. We all have different circumstances in our life. That's a choice. It's a choice to have children. It's a choice to have animals. It's a choice to live out in this part of the world, right? Like all of those are voluntary choices. So first of all, understand that you put yourself in that situation. And now you have to what? You have to deal with solutions, not just focusing on the problem. Like, well, this person wakes up at this time and Solutions. Figure the shit out. Just figure it out. Everything has a solution. Like maybe you might not be able to discover it, right? Maybe you need to work with someone. Maybe you need to hire a professional. Whatever the case may be, there is a solution to your problem. But you've got to set clear boundaries with yourself and figuring out if you have a problem and you haven't solved it, and that problem is a lingering problem, which is impeding your sleep, impeding your nutrition, impeding your happiness. Whose job is it to make yourself happy? That's an inside job, boom booms. So that's essentially my bit on I Choose Me. So last words of wisdom that I have that I thought you'd really enjoy. I'll go through them quickly because we are over time. Stop giving people the power to steal your peace. It belongs to you and no one should be able to run away with it. A.Ellie. Love it, right? You are in control of your happiness and your peace. No one else is. So stop saying that someone else makes you mad. Someone else makes you sad. Nope, 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 nope. You chose to give away your peace. You chose to give away your happiness. You chose to ... So own it, okay? Next, your greatest risk is in thinking too small. Think big. Life is too short to think small. I choose me means I choose to dream. I choose to achieve. I choose prosperity. I choose a mindset of wealth. I choose living connected to the universe. I choose practicing the secret, right? All of that good stuff is I choose me. So I choose me means I choose to dream big. I choose to achieve big. I choose to make the life that I want for myself. I encourage you to fill in the second part of that equation. I choose me means what for you? Then lastly, and this is perfect because she literally makes Black history every single day, Queen Bee, Beyonce once said, your self-worth is determined by you. You don't have to depend on someone telling you who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fact because Beyonce said it's a fact. Shout out to Queen Bee. I adore her. I adore you, Beyonce. You're amazing. So, I choose me means what? I am defining my self-worth. I am loving myself completely and ferociously above all others because that's the only way that I can truly love my husband better. That's the only way I can truly love my parents, my family members, my friends better is I have to choose to love me the most possible because the number one person in my life is always going to have to be me. Everyone else comes after. You have to love yourself the most before you can ever love anyone else. So that's what I encourage you to think about. Am I doing that for your, like say to yourself, am I doing that? Am I loving myself to the best ability? If not, hey bum bum, what you gonna do about it? And then lastly, Again, happy Black History Month. I'm super excited to what? To learn Black history. That's the best way to celebrate the month. If you're trying to figure out what do you do for Black History Month, whether you're a person of color or not, learn some Black history every single day. Learn about a new Black hero or shero that has changed the face of this planet, because I tell you, there are definitely more than 28 people who do it. So the knowledge is immensely wide and far reaching. Please seek it out. Learn some Black history. Next, support Black history oriented events. If you follow Dressing Roommate, you know that I post about Sisters on Fire. I'll share that in the comments after as well. Sisters on Fire is a play about the Black woman experience in America. It's a play about humanity. Come out. The show starts February 22nd to March 17th. I have a poem in it. I'll be there opening night. Super excited to support events like that. Next, support Black businesses, right? If you want to support Black History Month, whether you're a person of color or not, that is how you support. By giving your money, by giving your time, by giving your energy, by sharing. Hey, say you have no money and you're like, I can't support anything financially. That's okay. Do you have a Facebook page? Do you have a Facebook profile? Share some Black owned business information. Share Black focused business, like heroes or people, idols that are doing stuff. That's how you can support. Celebrate through knowledge, celebrate through events, celebrate by supporting business, okay? And then lastly, I just dare you to for this month of love and Black History Month, to just love yourself deeply and unconditionally, and to really think about some of the things that we talked about, because I really hope it not only makes you think differently about how you're approaching your life, but also how you're approaching self-love, because there's a lot of content out there about self-love, but practically speaking, I think the 4 tips that I shared with you is how you can easily deepen your relationship with yourself starting today. So lastly, please share this video. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any follow-up questions, I'm eager to help and serve you. So what you can do is you can put them in the comments, and I'm happily going to respond back to you. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, let's have an open conversation, and let's just commit, guys, to loving ourselves deeply, ferociously, unconditionally, and happily for this month and beyond, because this is our lives, guys. So if we're not taking time to love ourselves, I don't know who you expect to love you more than you can. So with that, thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, you'll see me soon, guys. So be good. Bye.